Singing is hard, dancing is hard, writing music is hard. And for the select few out there that can do all three, they're considered a triple threat and part of the 0.00001%.
Thank you so much.
Unless you're a K-pop star, and that is the bare minimum. 3 months ago, I was sitting getting my nails done when I looked on the screen and was mesmerized by a K-pop music video playing. And I thought to myself, oh my God, they're amazing. And oh my God, it would be so amazing to be able to do that. Now I'm way past the part of a average K-pop star starting training when they're probably like 3 years old. But as I embark on my journey of becoming a music producer, I'm trying to like step outside my comfort zone and try different parts of being an artist. I cut the trees off and we grew. You know, the ones we called their names into. So this month, I'm going to spend the next 30 days training to be a K-pop star. I'll be doing their workouts, singing, dancing, and yes, combining all three at the same time while I attempt to sing and dance. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the dark side, like diets. Let's jump into it. Day number 1, we started with the workout all members of Blackpink love, Pilates reformer, and followed by my first ever dance rehearsal session. Oh my God, the nerves I have. Meet my instructor, Yoon, who's an expert in K-pop dances and who's going to teach me Venom by Blackpink. I picked Blackpink and specifically Venom because I saw him perform at Coachella, and it's just good vibes. Good vibes. My routine. Every day I'll be doing one workout inspired by one member of Blackpink. Mondays, Pilates Reformer, inspired by Jennie, but they actually all do Pilates Reformer. Tuesdays, Boxing, loved by Lisa. Wednesdays, Yoga, also inspired by Lisa. Thursday, just regular Pilates, inspired by Rosé. Fridays, gym workout, inspired by Jisoo. And Saturday is going to be a little wild card, listening to my body. It might be cardio, hike, or yoga, which they all do. And Sunday, rest. Plus dance lessons once, twice a week, and practicing the dance as much as possible. Most K-pops have that like sense of sass, and that's something I really want to learn, which you'll soon see is sass doesn't come naturally to me.
Yeah, like sticking your hips out and stuff like that.
Yes, that's what's not. You can tell that's what doesn't come natural. So day number 1, I was humiliated, but honestly, it was so much fun, and I was determined to learn more than 15 seconds of this dance. Like the first step, I was like, oh no, what have I gotten myself into? Day number 2, hitting up the boxing class and starting to practice the dance I learned yesterday. Day 3, I needed a recovery day, so taking note from Lisa and doing some yoga and working on music. Day number 4, Pilates class and practicing the dance once again. Day 5, gym workout inspired by Jisoo and more dance practice. Day 6, I went on a long hike. By a hike, I mean the ultimate pop girl walk to my new favorite cafe in Vancouver. Oh, hello! Day 7, I was exhausted, like mentally, physically not as much as like, it's not intense. I've done more intense practices. Maybe my energy output was quite similar to normal. I just didn't do as many walks. I did a few more dances kind of to replace it and not to burn myself out, but just like mentally learning the dances. But I'm excited to see if I can like finally pick. I've kind of tried to follow along dances, but I've never in my life, aside from one time I did musical theater when I was like 6, learned a dance and did it. Oh, actually I Cadillac Ranch in junior high, if that counts. Speaking of which, one of the crazy things about K-pop is like what they're expected to do. I started to realize how impressive it was because the dances don't seem that complicated. Like it's not moves of them jumping there and doing flips. Like it's like I can swing my hand around, but it's the meticulous detail. When you watch a K-pop dance, if like every thumb of every single one of the members is dialed in perfection, and that comes from repetition, 8-hour practice days you hear. If you watch any of these K-pop stars or any of these like competitions or just seeing them go throughout the process from being a young kid growing up to hopefully being selected to be in one of these major K-pop groups, the hours they take. And with that comes kind of the seedy side of whenever you talk about K-pop training. And we're going to dive into some of these unfortunate topics. Starting with number 1, unrealistic body expectations. And because of these standards, you can find endless situations of these. I get it. If you want something, you'll do anything. Like any of my dreams, if someone was like, yeah, you have to fast for a month. I hate to say it. But if you told me that's what it takes, I would do it if it was like my ultimate dream. Like a lot of people, and this is their ultimate dream, and then these unrealistic expectations put on them, and it's like anything takes. I'll work out for hours. It's just so unfair that these expectations are put on them, and I don't want to feed the narrative more. But there's endless situations if you look on YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok of like, I tried blank K-pop stars diet, and they're unbelievably sad. And so I won't be doing any of the diets for this video for that exact reason. And it breaks my heart because this started to happen when I started mentioning to people I'm doing a K-pop challenge, like because I'm like, oh my God, they're so talented. I love the music. I saw this video of them dancing. They're so talented. And that's the thing, they're so talented, but it's almost outshines a lot of the things because this narrative of these unrealistic expectations they put on themselves. Like as soon as I told any single one of my friends or someone I knew that I'm doing a K-pop challenge, they're gonna be like, how? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be hard, but like it's then they assumed I was instantly doing the diet. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna starve myself. So for that reason, I will continue to eat enough to fuel my body throughout this challenge. But it's just an interesting thing that I thought, and I noticed every time I mentioned it to people, they instantly just thought K-pop, skinny diet, not the detailed of their training rehearsals, which that breaks my heart. Also, the beauty standards are a lot different in Korea than North America, just the typical beauty standards. And that's probably one reason these artists are put to those expectations, which aren't really what is admired as much in North America. Typically, of course, North America specifically is very multicultural. So you're gonna find a lot of beauty standards in it. But in Korea, they really admire smaller features. So that's like smaller face, smaller frame, a paler skin tone, and things like that. Like, let's just use an example for myself. I have really big masseter muscles, these jaw lines. Now, I've gotten Botox a few times in the past, and every time I go, I'm like, what do you think? What would balance my face? I still want movement, but just a little boop boop. And sometimes they do mention my masseters, because that is a very common thing to get, is your masseters down. And it's especially common in a place like Korea, because they would really want a smaller face, a slimmer face. So this would kind of chop my face like that if I were to get rid of my masseters. But I'm always against it because with masseters, it creates my jawline, and it's one of my favorite features. That's a very North American, European thing to admire a jawline. But I also want to take into account Korea is a very modern country, just like countries in Europe and North America, and they have trend cycles too, and rapid fire. Like anyone who's from a modern country that has access to TikTok and social media is in a trend cycle loop, and so trends are constantly changing. But in summary, yes, typically Korean beauty standards are small, youthful is kind of the name of the game. But back to me attempting this challenge. Now, approaching week 2, I'm in the routine of workouts, Pilates, weights, and yoga, and I'm feeling amazing. Honestly, none of these workouts right now are crazy. The crazy is the hours of dance rehearsal, which I'm honestly not at yet because like I don't even have the dances to dance for 8 hours. But stay tuned, as I will be attempting in my final week like a full 8-hour dance rehearsal day. My biggest issue right now is sass.
Yep, I screwed that up. I was like, I don't know.
We'll try again.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just never had a sport or anything where it's just that sassy, that attitude. Like, don't get me wrong, if someone pisses me off, I can throw a little sass, but like, I just don't have that in like a performance. Like, even when I DJ, like, it's fun and I can get rallied up. I'm like, let's go, let's go. I'm very like, let's go, not like sass, boom, sexy, confident. That is something I really want to be able to get in by the end of the video. Like, I want you guys to look at my last dance and be like, Keltie, is that attitude? Day 17, I was like, let's have it fun. If we're talking about Korean beauty, I went and got a Korean color analysis. What does the scan do?
Yes, so it would scan the color of your skin.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
so-
Interesting. It turns out I'm a bright spring, but can also wear a light spring and a brighter fall. But if you're in Vancouver, check out Noon Color. She runs her own small independent business doing this, so it's a more affordable way to do it, and you're supporting local. I found this fascinating because the whole concept is like colors that really brighten you up, don't wash you out. And this is super popular in Korea, and it was fascinating to do. And like now I like it that it doesn't mean you can't wear one of your colors, but I'm like, ooh, if I want a color that just makes me look good versus, I think the best analogy, one of you left a comment and was like, say you wear a red dress, but red isn't your color. The first thing people are gonna notice is your red dress because it pops on you. Versus if it's a color that really flatters you, they're just gonna notice how good you look overall. And that's kind of the concept.
And you go on the peak, you know, lean your head back this way. Go slice, slice, slice.
Okay,
Yeah. Up. 1, 2. Crown, then open. You know, take your right foot to the side while you DJ. So right foot.
It's so impressive.
Now, right before I started making this video, I noticed something really weird. And I want to make a whole video on it. And I'd love if you guys would want me to make a video about this, comment below. But I was on Pinterest one day and I saw a photo and it looked off. I love pinning photos of outfits, meal ideas, and home ideas or whatever comes. And that's typically my Pinterest. Sometimes I love an elaborate meal and sometimes like a basic meal. This meal was basic, but there was something off about it. So I clicked. I was just like, why is that a meal on Pinterest? Like, it wasn't aesthetic. It wasn't nutrition. It was very, very simple, weirdly simple. And I clicked it and I started scrolling. And if you've ever been on Pinterest, you know, they give very similar items. So I saw more kind of like this and I clicked it and I kind of went down the rabbit hole and watching this. And I was like, oh my God, these are like diet accounts, very Tumblr-esque. And it broke my heart. And it was very K-pop coded. It was very these diets we hear about. I'm getting slightly teary-eyed thinking of it because I was like, wow, any girl just looking small, as simple as like looking up to an artist and then just like, oh, what do they eat? And then you fall down this rabbit hole and it can lead to very, very scary things. And I won't touch more on that. I just couldn't make this video without kind of bringing it up of like, if you're there and if you're in this right now because you're in that rabbit hole and somehow my video in the algorithm found you, I'm just giving you a hug right now. Go make yourself something really nourishing and loving, and you deserve it. And you deserve to feel your body. I'm going to feel my body. You're going to feel your body, and we're going to get more out of life. And yeah, I just want to say, if you're there right now, I love you. Sorry, I'm getting teary-eyed because that scares me. That scares me. Wow, why am I so scared? Sad. I'm sorry, I don't cry that often. If you're there, it worries me. It worries me that algorithms can do this for young girls and young boys even. Like, that's also not talked about is like K-pop stars. And I'm not going to call out any specific K-pop stars because I think that's also toxic. Commenting specifically if someone gains or loses 5 pounds or 10 pounds or 20, like if they open up the conversation, I think we can comment on it. But if we start to say, oh, look, they're looking healthier, they gained some weight, or, oh, they're looking really, it's iffy because obviously you want the best for people. And I don't even know the answer. Even like I get comments like that sometimes. Like I don't have the exact answer. That's why I'm just not going to give exact people. There's people from Girl Defined, BTS, that have openly come and, you know, they've clearly felt the pressures in the past and now they're getting to a healthier place. And I just really want to applaud that. And I hope there's more of that in the K-pop community because I think that will encourage their fans. It's not the K-pop singer's fault. I think it's the higher ups that expect them to be that. So like my heart breaks for them and breaks for the fans. And it's just this, I don't have the answer, but anyways, let's back I got deep there and I got sad and emotional, but let's go back to funner times. Let's have some fun Korean things. So I thought it was only fitting I incorporate some more Korean dishes into my diet for fun and giggles this month. So we had some leftover vegetables. So I made kimchi pancakes because I could eat kimchi like it's a bucket. If you want something healthy, probiotics, kimchi. Kimchi is victory. Add kimchi to your diet, be healthier, be happier. It is so delicious. So yeah, kimchi pancakes.
I know sometimes life can be tough, and you feel like you just had enough.
Okay.
You're thinking everything is gone wrong.
Left and right and bring it in and shake, 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 shake.
Approaching the final week of the challenge, I wanted to make sure I arrived in tip-top shape, not jet-lagged and lethargic. So here's a sneak peek to next week's video of my healthy habit travel routine. 1 is I sleep as soon as I get on the plane. 2, I wear sunglasses in the airport. I'll explain why next week. Trust me, there's a method to my madness. And 3, nutrition-wise, I get what I can, and I accept I most likely won't have a wide variety of nutrients on the plane. That's why I always have a pack of AG1 on the plane. But AG1 isn't just a part of my travel routine, it's also part of my daily routine for multiple reasons. Example 1 is gut health. My fellow runners, about 70% of runners experience some kind of gut health problem. And in research studies, AG1 has been proven to double the amount of healthy bacteria in people's gut. That's gonna help with digestion, bloating, and regularity. And that might be the most important thing for runners, because the last thing runners want on a run is the runs. I also love AG1 because it simplified my daily supplement routine. I don't have to take like 7 different supplements. I just take this. On my travel routine, same. I don't have to pack 10 different supplements. I literally just pack AG1 and electrolytes and I'm good to go, which makes doing just like a carry-on way easier. And of course, I got a deal for you guys. If you click the link in my description or scan this QR code, you will get a 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription. Thank you AG1 for sponsoring this video and every single trip I've been on, every single day for the last 4 years. I've completed most of the workouts. Now, remaining is just really dialing in practicing for my last few days. And I won't lie, I'm nervous because I no longer have my instructor. I'm just realizing when I'm practicing, I'm just kind of going through the motions. How do I even say it? I'm just scared to be sassy, if that makes sense. It's not me, but like I want it to be.
Summer is finally here. Oh, hot girl walks just got so much better.
And you don't have to brave the elements. It's day 29 and today I'm going to attempt a full rehearsal day. See how far, because like sometimes they rehearse for like 8 hours. Dancing is clearly not my full-time job, but I'm gonna go to the gym, dance for a couple hours, go home, eat, practice there. Oh, I'm so nervous. I used to always think like, oh yeah, they just dance for hours. That seems fun, but like the same dance again and again and again. Whew. I just don't seem to have that attitude that dancers have when I do each of these moves. But I'm realizing I do know the moves. Like I was embarrassed to think I didn't, but because I'm kind of just doing them without emotion, I'm missing the hits and that energy. And that's where the sass is. So I'm gonna keep practicing all day and hopefully by tomorrow's finale, I will have sass.
Okay. Even though maybe that should be part of it, is doing it publicly. It'd be different publicly if people asked for it. No one in the gym asked to see me. I'm like in the corner. So I think I'm gonna go home, eat some breakfast, stretch it out, go over it a few more times, eat lunch, go over a few more times, and see if I can get some sass.
It's near the end of day 29. Tomorrow I'm going to do my final performance. And I've been practicing. I'm feeling better. I feel if I just be vulnerable, like rip off the Band-Aid and just go, I can have like sass in this final rehearsal. And I've been going all day. And I actually just wanted to talk about, like I mentioned a lot of times, these like 8-hour rehearsal days. And even though the workouts were normally just an hour or so, it's the crazy long rehearsal days. And I just want to talk about it because running's in right now. And with things like running, people might get into it because they're running they see these marathon runners, or someone might want to do something like this because they see the hours and they think hours of dancing, hours of running, you're just gonna burn so many calories and the weight's just gonna fall off. And I think some people get into it definitely for the right reasons, but I think a lot of people get into these intense exercises with the idea of like, I'll just burn so many calories. And I'm just gonna give a little word of caution. I have personally found anytime I do any intense exercise, any intense challenges, these things that are hours and hours working out, it is the hardest time to maintain my weight. And I don't necessarily mean just on the side of like, I lose so much weight. If anything, it's almost the opposite. It's like your hunger is so crazy. It's so hard to control. And it's a real skill. Like endurance athletes and these people who perform, to really understand the hunger and how to feel your body, it's very challenging because it's so intense. Your hunger hormones are all over the place. And most people, it's not their full-time job. Like when's your full-time job? You got the time and the recovery and all that, but like when you're busy with work and stress and you add this on top, it's really hard to figure it out. So I think for the average person, even like myself, I have to realize it's not as easy as it seems, ironically, if that is your goal, weight loss, you think you're going to burn a bunch of calories. I find whenever I've done these challenges, the intention wasn't, of course, to just burn a ton of calories. But when I do, my hunger's all over the place. And it's totally normal to have weight fluctuations. Like my weight fluctuates with my whole entire life. It's usually with a specific range. But whenever I've done like intense challenges and all that, I am usually on my higher end, the kind of more intense I do, because I'm just so focused on fueling and making sure to get enough so I have the energy in the next time. So just something to think about. I thought this was relevant to this video and me saying a lot of these hour long challenges and a lot of people getting into running and just thinking these hours of intensity and I'm going to burn so much. I'm like, that's not always the case. Now, most of you watching are adults. You can make your own decisions. I can't choose for you. But just a reminder, the more extremes you take to get somewhere, the faster it'll probably go away versus slow and steady to get to any destination. You tend to be locked in dial. Your entire routine is changed. And so you maintain, whether it be getting faster, stronger, losing weight, gaining muscle, it's all kind of the same. And one last thing about that with the Korean beauty standards and these K-pop, I shouldn't even just say Korean, like specifically the K-pop star beauty standards they're expected to be by these music execs and whatever. Don't think that necessarily training like them is going to give them their body. I've talked about this before, and it's something maybe I would love to make a video about. There's certain sports and certain activities that a body type is expected. It's not the result of. I'll use swimmers and gymnastics and dancers too. And runners as well. When you think of the classic body type, like unfortunately to say there is in our mind, people think, oh, well, if I'm going to run, I'm going to be really lean if I run, because runners have lean bodies. And a lot of the times it's the pressure from coaches, from people watching to look like a runner, or the old ideas that the lighter you are, the faster you are. And even though there is definitely some advantages to being certain body types for sports, just realize it's a combination of sometimes genetics, but then there's also the pressures these athletes are put on. It's kind of like the pressure a model would be expected. So athletes have that very similar. And it breaks my heart because it doesn't always equate to performance. It's not necessarily their training and dancing that gives them their body. It's the expectation to be a K-pop singer that gives them that body. And I sadly don't have an answer to it. It's just the sad reality of the world. Like, I just think of, I don't know us consumers, what we do to artists and musicians, because a lot of it's from higher up managers and then we're fed it. But all I can say, what us as consumers have to be better at is like not commenting on every photo of every celebrity. The one that really pissed me off lately is there's these photos of Taylor Swift and people are like, oh my God, she's pregnant. She was breathing on stage. You know what I mean? Like, and I've had comments like that. Like sometimes I'm breathing, I had a big meal and people are like, oh my God, you're pregnant. I'm like, wow, I feel so good about myself right now. So like, I think as consumers, that's the best thing we can do right now is like not speculate. And it's hard because like I was born in the 90s, so I was really in that early 2000s pop culture era. And just, you know, all the toxic tabloids. And so like there's a lot of it that's just hardwired for our brains to think that way. I think we just have to consciously, when we see a girl with a little bit of a gut, with her, you know, belly sticking out a little bit while she's singing, we don't assume pregnancy, we assume oxygen. After several weeks of practicing, now is the time to see if I can actually perform the whole dance. No instructor, no follow-along video, just my memory and hopefully some sass. Days, and I'm sorry, I know that's not going to be impressive to a lot of you guys. I have never been able to follow I can't even say it, choreography, you know the word. And I've never thought I'd be able to follow. Like day one, I was so scared when she started to say all these things. I was like, I'm not going to be able to follow it. And then I was so embarrassed because I knew I couldn't follow it. So I was just kind of going through the motions. And I don't know, I felt sassy. Just a little bit. I was like, throw your hips into it. Was it perfect? No, but I did it and I'm excited. And that was so fun. I feel so good. I was on my Pilates game. I did some weights. I did some cardio in the form of dancing. And I feel healthy and excited to move. And I'm excited for the summer. And this was such a fun challenge. Even I did the Tracy Anderson. Here's an example. This is a fun way to work out. We see the Tracy Andersons. That's a dance. $900 a month is crazy. You can go do your local dance class. And it's super embarrassing at the start, but it is so much fun. And you leave with a skill. And obviously getting a one-on-one trainer isn't the most financially accessible thing. I just needed science, so I didn't have to worry about filming a group class, but I'm going to go start doing group classes for this. It is such a fun way to move your body. I'm just so excited. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm doing a year-long challenges. So far in it, I have learned to sing. I've learned to twerk, and now I've learned how to follow a dance routine. And maybe you can guess down below what I'm doing throughout the year. But so far I've done the Miley, the Meg Thee Stallion, Blackpink, and I'm just gonna keep adding these. I'm not expecting in 30 days to suddenly become a K-pop dancer. I'm not dumb. Like I have even like a lot of the moves I physically can't do because of my lower back, but I just feel great. I feel motivated. I'm excited to do more. And if you want a fun way to work out, there's a lot of adult dance classes, and it is one of the funnest ways. And I find them very understanding. The amount of times I asked my instructor, like, I would just apologize because I'm Canadian. I'm like, I'm so sorry about this. She's like, no.
I screwed that up. I was like, I don't know.
We'll try again.
Okay.
I teach adults all the time. Like, you're not, like, how selfish am I and egotistical to think I'm like the only one who wouldn't be embarrassed by this? Like, so many of us are. Now, I will mention, I only scratched the surface of the wellness beauty trends of Korea. I just thought I couldn't do K-pop and not touch about it because I think that's just media in general. But I will say that is definitely a dream for me, is to do like a series like traveling to Korea. Like I've kind of been able to do it in Sweden, luckily, but traveling to places like Korea and explore their beauty, wellness routines and what's different. And I find that so fascinating, what health looks like and wellness in different countries and beauty in general. So comment down below if you guys would like that. Like I said, will take a lot of work, and that's an eventual goal video as a YouTuber to create. But for right now, I'm working on this 1-year series and just trying to get myself out of my comfort zone and do things that are fun, and then just kind of put me towards myself as a musician, because if you didn't know, I'm a music producer and slowly releasing my own original tracks. I got an exciting announcement coming soon about me performing DJing. So, but that's for another. And I'm just trying to build skills as an artist in general. I'm not going to be a singer. I'm not going to be a dancer, but like, I just want to respect the craft and learn. And just like, it's a fun thing to challenge myself. So I encourage you guys to do the same, especially in the summer. It's just a fun thing to do with friends, and it's a skill. Like you guys watching, wedding party season. You could be in part of a wedding, or you could be going to the club, and just being able to like feel confident dancing is a great skill to have. But speaking of summer, I will give you guys a heads up. I do take 2 weeks off in the summer every year for my birthday. My birthday is July 12th. There will be a video next week, which helps with those of you traveling, some healthy habits. But July 6th and 13th, there'll be no video. So I ask for this every year. If you could hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you know when my videos come back, aka 8 a.m. Pacific time, July 20th, that would mean the world to me. Have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye. Wow, a bead just fell off.